Hi guys, welcome to The Baseline. Thanks again for joining me today. We're going to talk about fake court dates, stolen records, and a $50,000 bombshell donation. We're going to talk about the Mangione scandal. All right, let's get started, guys. What if I told you prosecutors invented a fake court date, faked a subpoena, and used that lie to secretly steal a murder suspect's private medical records? And what if that guy they did it to wasn't just anybody, but the accused killer of one of the most powerful healthcare CEOs in the United States? So yeah, welcome to the wildest courtroom circus in New York right now. And trust me, this one ends with eavesdropping, it ends with HIPAA violations, and it also ends with a mysterious $50,000 donation. All right, let's unpack this scandal before someone tries to redact all of it. Now, here's what we know. Luigi Mangione, the man accused of assassinating UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson, is fighting not one, but two upcoming murder trials, one in federal court and one in state court. But right now, the spotlight isn't on him. It's on the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, because his legal team, Luigi Mangione's legal team, just dropped a bombshell in court. They're accusing prosecutors of manufacturing a fake court date, creating a fraudulent subpoena, and using that to illegally pressure health insurance giant Aetna into handing over 120 pages of Mangione's private HIPAA-protected medical records. Now, no judge, no warrant, no waiver, just hand them over or face contempt. Now, you can't make this stuff up unless apparently you work in the district attorney's office. But here's the twist to it all. This isn't even the first time they've been caught stepping on the Constitution. They also allegedly or accidentally listened in on private calls between Mangione and his lawyers, specifically an 11-minute call with his legal defense. Now, there's been no consequence. There's been no accountability for all this. So is this just incompetence, or is the system bending its own rules to take down a high-profile defendant? So stay with me. Let's try to break this down and make a few points. Now, point number one is this fake court date. So let's start with that lie, the lie that lit this match. So on May 23rd, 2025, that's the court date printed on the subpoena sent to Aetna. Only there was no court date on it. Not in May, not on the 23rd, not at all. That date never existed. But Aetna, the insurance company, didn't know that. So the subpoena threatened them with a $1,000 fine and a year in jail if they didn't comply by May 23rd. So Aetna, as we all probably would have, panicked, right? And handed over everything. Now pause with me here, because if you got a legal threat in writing from the Manhattan District Attorney with an official court date, would you question it? Or would you send the documents? Exactly, me too. And here's the kicker to it all. The subpoena didn't even ask for documents to be sent to the court, like the law actually requires. It told Aetna to send them straight to the district attorney's office. So they're bypassing, usurping. So there's no court, no judge, no oversight, just slide them under the door. That's not really a subpoena, though. That's more like a heist. Point number two, guys, the medical records. So what did the DA actually get? Mangione's full designated record set. That's HIPAA speak for everything. Doctor's notes, diagnoses, prescription, communications, test results, the whole 120-page private vault of his medical records. Now, here's where it gets even worse. These records weren't relevant to any motion, hearing, or evidence submission. They weren't tied to any courtroom proceeding. So in other words, they had no business seeing them. Now, the prosecution admitted they didn't have a court order, didn't have a signed waiver, didn't notify the defense team, didn't notify the judge, didn't do anything. They just scooped up the files. Now, imagine being on trial for murder and the district attorney secretly grabs your mental health records, your medications, maybe your entire therapy history without you even knowing about it. Now, that's not prosecution, right? That's kind of surveillance. Which brings us to point number 3, eavesdropping and stacking these violations. Now, let's add to the pile of all of this stuff. Now, earlier in this case, prosecutors were caught accidentally listening to, I think, an 11-minute call between Mangione and his defense attorneys. Now, let that sit, because imagine if police bugged your conversations with your lawyer. It's just like, whoops, we left the tape running, and then nothing happens. No sanctions, no disqualification, just shrug in prosecutorial immunity. Is that what it is? I don't know. Now, Mangione's attorneys are now arguing this is a pattern, not a fluke. It's not a fumble, a pattern of misconduct that includes fake subpoenas that are illegally obtained. They are private records, violations of attorney-client privilege, and attempts to cover it with all vague oops, our bad, and excuses. And they're now asking for a full evidentiary hearing. They want to grill the prosecutors. They want to grill the Aetna reps and anyone who touched those documents under oath. Now, they're also requesting sanctions, even a full dismissal of the indictment. So that is a pretty huge change of event. Now, point number 4 is the $50,000 shockwave. Now, here's where the story gets a bit emotional and political. Just days after this court filing dropped, Mangione's defense fund received a $50,000 anonymous donation. It's the largest one yet. No name, just a note, right? I already knew about the life-saving treatment denials of cancer patients like my mom. I'd hear her crying in pain. That's what was quoted. Now, that donor, whoever they are, linked the assassination of a healthcare CEO to their own pain with the United States medical system. Now, let's be clear. Nothing legal connects that donor to the crime, but symbolically, this just turned a murder trial into a referendum on corporate healthcare. And Mangione team, their team, they know this. So let's ask the question again. Was this a rogue move by a desperate district attorney trying to secure a conviction at all costs? Or was it a glitch, a paperwork error with a massive constitutional fallout? Because if this holds up in court, that a DA can invent deadlines and use threats to steal medical files, that's not just about Mangione anymore. That's about all of us. It's about you. It's about me. It's about your records, and our rights. So your trust in a justice system that plays by its own rules when the cameras are off, that ends up being very concerning, I think, to all of us. So here's the wild part, again, that this might not be the last shoe to drop. Because if prosecutors can break HIPAA and tap phone calls and still move forward with trial, then what's to stop them from doing the same thing to anyone else? I mean, forget Netflix dramas. This is real life stuff playing out right in front of us, right now in a Manhattan courtroom. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Let me know your thoughts on this case. Do you think the prosecutors are going to get lit up for this? Do you think they overstepped? Do you think that I'm off in my analysis? Put it in the comment section below. And thank you guys again so much for watching The Baseline. Cheers, everybody.